Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Bitcoin in Real Life. And I was um, watching a little kids cartoon with my daughter, and I heard this song, and I was so inspired to. I was so inspired by hearing it that I wanted to know who the lyrics to it and who was singing, and it's of course a Johnny Cash song, and so inspired to you know hear the song again that I wanted to read the lyrics, and you know a lot of times um, you see a lot of people talk about how wonderful and great um, Bitcoin is, and how it's going to change the world, and all this stuff, and it's true. It definitely can. I've said it many times, but sometimes you don't hear the stories of the struggle and of uh, the obstacles and the hardship of using Bitcoin in your life. And sometimes you can lose your momentum, you can lose um, your overall vision and goal. Um, and sometimes you just have to be, a little inspired sometimes, and just refocus and regroup. Um, there's a lot of hardship involved in using Bitcoin in real life. Um, just just the obstacles that are um, that just seem to come out of nowhere. It's as if there's something out there that is just opposing you all the time. And this is kind of leads back to this song by Johnny Cash, I Won't Back Down. And let me just read it to you, since I'm not a very good singer, but I'm sure you've all heard the song. And it's what's it say here? It says, well, I won't back down. No, I won't back down. You can stand me up at the gates of hell, but I won't back down. Gonna stand my ground, won't be turned around, and I'll keep this world from dragging me down. Gonna stand my ground, and I won't back down. Hey, baby, there ain't no easy way out. Hey, I will stand my ground, and I won't back down. Will I know what's right? I got just one life. In a world that keeps on pushing me around, but I stand my ground, and I won't back down. Hey, baby, There ain't no easy way out. Hey, I will stand my ground, and I won't back down. No, I won't back down. And, sometimes I feel this way. You know, I feel like I'm being stood up, at the gates of hell, and that the world is dragging me down and pushing me around, and there's no easy way out. And there isn't. I feel sometimes, um, since I won't back down, I won't, and in a lot of ways I can't. I made that commitment of a lifetime, and because, I made that commitment of a lifetime, um, I literally can't be turned around. And you know you know you know what's right. You know what's right, and you just have one life. So anyways, very inspired when I heard this song. Wanted to share that with you. And it's a struggle every day. And I try and accomplish my goals. Sometimes it's very difficult. But on a brighter side, by the way, sometimes I feel like without any struggle, you can't make any progress. Without struggle, that there is no progress. So, when I see all the struggle that's going on, I just have to assume that there's going to be progress. So, anyways, on the other side of it, what Bitcoin has allowed me to do was recently I made contact with my father, in which I haven't seen in a long time. My father was never a part of my life, and we were separated, my mother and my father, and even at to some degree, even my mother, I feel very distanced from, and I don't know why. I don't know how it all came about, but ever since I started using Bitcoin, something amazing happened. I was never really close to my mother. It's just, our personalities just don't quite match up for whatever reason. But after I started using Bitcoin, our relationship got a lot better. And then it got to a point where, I felt like she really was my mother. I feel like my parents aren't my parents. I don't know who these people are. I don't know my mother. I don't know my father. But ever since after using Bitcoin, we've bonded a lot closer with me and my mother. And on top of that, I decided to reach out to my father and have children, which makes my mother and my father grandparents. And my father hasn't seen any of my children, hasn't seen me in probably 20, was it 20 years? Pretty close to 20 years. And so I reached out, and I'm not angry or mad. It's just that I never had a close bond with my parents. Never had a bonding. We never bonded that well, or never had a chance to. And ever since 2013, I believe, that's when I got involved. If you've seen any of my Bitcoin trade videos, it probably dates back that far. Amazing things happen when I let Bitcoin into my life, and now I'll have a chance to see my father again, and my children will have a chance to see their grandfather. And in some ways, well, I should say, the reason is, I just have to contribute this to the use of Bitcoin, that my relationship with my parents and the bond that I have with them now is greater than it ever was. And it's an experience that is overwhelming. So, excuse me. And so, despite all the hardships that I go through, and I do go through quite a bit of hardship, using Bitcoin in your life, it is a hardship sometimes, because it feels like, it really does feel like the world is against you sometimes, and that you're being dragged down. And but the brighter side of it is that it's really made a huge positive impact in my life, to the point where I feel happy. Not that I was unhappy, but I always felt that the distance that I had with my parents, the feeling of them being very distant, always seemed to be there. And for some reason, after I started using Bitcoin, our relationship has bonded to a point where we actually have a relationship. And so, our plan is to go to Disneyland in the summer, and again, travel. I will be traveling, of course, to all my favorite places. Going to Chicago, into Toronto, New York City. Don't know if I have time to go down to Florida and out to Atlanta and other places. Definitely be going to California though. So I'll be making my videos on my road trip. So, but I'm a very strong believer, as you can tell, in the use of Bitcoin. And it's not because I make that I'm able to make a gain, or able to make a profit either in whatever currency or Bitcoin, and that it basically puts food on my table and provides me everything that I need, and I don't take too much. I only take literally what I need, and everything else I put it right back in. I put it in because the more I put back in, the more it gives back to me, and not just in a financial way, not just in money, but in other ways, like my relationship with my parents. For some reason, it's brought us closer. And there's some things you can never buy with money. You can never purchase I guess love. You can never purchase love, true love. And you can never you could purchase sex, right? You can purchase whatever, drugs, or I don't know, whatever it is that people purchase things. But there's just some things you can never purchase with, no matter how much money you have, or maybe even how much Bitcoin you have. But using Bitcoin, and I didn't buy my parents relationship with Bitcoin, but using Bitcoin in my life has brought me great joy and fulfillment that, in my opinion, without it, I don't think I would achieve the things that I thought I would have achieved. And so, that's a big thing for me. And another reason why I'm so dedicated and so committed into bringing Bitcoin to every person, man, woman, and child, to every nation, every country, every city, all over the world. You should, it's different. It's hard to explain, because you have to experience this to know what I'm talking about. Otherwise, it's just trying to, it's just talk. A lot of people talk, and they do a lot of talking, and after they're finished talking, they don't do anything. And so, for me, it's made a big difference. It's made a huge impact. The use of Bitcoin has made a huge big impact. It not just in finance, not just in money, but things that you just can't buy, no matter how much money you have, or how much prestige, or how much power, or what position you're in, or even who you are. There's just some things you can just never buy, and it's just something you just have to experience. And if you're watching, I invite all of you to experience what I have experienced. And there is struggle to it, But without struggle, there can be no progress. So, anyways, that's my episode in Bitcoin in real life. It does. It's important to me. It really is. And well, anyways, on another note, some of the things that other things that I'm doing is that experience where I have a close bond and relationship with my parents that I've never had before. My parents were separated when I was young, so and that's the reason why I feel so distant from them. But it taught me something. This whole experience taught me something. Is that the experience of building a relationship with other people, and the more I use Bitcoin in real life, in this physical world, not just on the computer or on a website or things like that, where you don't really interact or build relationships with others. It's brought me a certain understanding and appreciation of life, and that's why I fight so hard. I fight so hard, and that's why I won't back down. Because I know the difference, the impact that it can make in someone's life. If you feel if you feel down, or if you feel unappreciated, or if you have any struggle in your life, just know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And if you just keep your head up and don't get turned around, because that's what the old world will do to you. The old world drag you down. Just keep pushing you around. But if you just stand your ground, you'll make it. You'll make it. And there really is no easy way out. Not an easy way out. You either get dragged down, or you fight your way to the new world. It's one or the other. You get dragged down, or you fight your way to the new world. Anyways, this concludes this episode. The other thing I was going to talk about is, I'm going out, and as I meet more people and I build relationships, and what I'm learning is, in order to build a really great relationship, you have to have a strong bond. A bond that cannot be broken. A bond that cannot, it has to be so strong that even when there's setback, you push right on through, or you go around, or you go under it, but you keep on going. You keep moving forward. Don't let it stop you. Don't let the old world prevent you from reaching your goals and doing the things that you want to do. So that's what I guess I'm trying to say. And as much of a struggle it is, the reward is not necessarily monetary. It's, something that is priceless. You can't buy um, you can't buy back the time that you have here in this physical world. So, make the best of it, because you got just one life. Make the best of it. Anyways, this concludes this episode. Feel free to like, dislike, um, leave a comment, or even do a video response. Until next time, stay tuned.